it was just so weird because I connected with the world, and like my understanding of the world, it just opened up. I felt like I understood why like my uncle was like pissed off at me. I won't say who he is, and you won't know. I won't give you any details. But one of my uncles, man, like I felt like, not that I let him down, but he wasn't the best role model to me when he should have been. And like I could see, like in that moment, I had a moment of clarity where like, oh, I understand why he would feel this way, regardless of the fact that he should have been like my fucking like, the person I look up to. It's just I just fucking had like all these like.
Mash Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now. While the angels fly over my headstone.
We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast with your boy Big Sir Bavelli, back in the place to be, La Merca Superior, Palace 81 Studios. We are live in effect, live and direct. It's your boy, Mr. Nine Times. Yeah, man. This is the Halloween episode. So Presley, come here. Presley, come here, boy. Presley, come here. Now, get the fuck over here. Now, let's go. Up. Come on, hustle. Come on. We got to show him the outfits, buddy. Come on. Come here. Your presence is required. Come here. Look at that. Look at him. Hold on. Oh, my bad. Hold on. Come here. Get the fuck over here. Oh, you're gonna drop the mic. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah. Tell him, buddy. How do you feel with your new shirt? Yeah, man. So basically, I am Tommy Vercetti, and this is Preston Henderson, or I guess we're Miami Vice, right? So this is Preston Henderson, and I'm Serbi Andretti, and we are Coke Boys in Miami, doing a lot of yay. So. Today's mathematics is culture freedom. So we've covered freedom. So what is it to have culture? To know culture is to know yourself, where you come from, and the people around you, and the cultures that are neighboring you. So we got these fucking, whatever these guys are, they're like Guatemalans, Ecuadorians, whatever the fuck. Shout out to all the homies out there from Central and South America. Culture is what you embody whenever you step into your cipher. So when you step into your truth into the world, whether that be to help somebody out, or to kind of just when you represent yourself, you represent your people, and that's what culture is. So live in your culture, live in your freedom, and live today. Peace. Today's drip check is Big Serbi Andretti. So we have Gum Sole Air Forces 514 jeans and a fake ass Hawaiian shirt, and then Presley is just got a fake ass lemonade shirt, button up. It's 2 buttons, so is it really a button up or is it 2 buttons up, buddy? I don't know, but your ears are hella dirty, and we need to get them clean. You understand, son? Huh? So I wanted to match the scenery. I got, this fake ass Guayabera with the lemon tree and shit. And then I need to do, this is how it looks like in the fall. And it's funny because our lemon tree doesn't really, I want to say it doesn't get fruit. It doesn't get the lemons don't come out until it's winter, like either the end of winter or the beginning of fucking the very beginning of spring. I feel like they because they're green now, but you just wait and then a couple months, at least 2 months, they're gonna be lemons and shit. So Halloween, this episode, man, I want to celebrate Halloween. I want to celebrate Dia de los Muertos, and I want to celebrate the God's Hour. So basically, we'll do like a 3-in-1 episode, because if I were to just cover Halloween, it would kind of it would be short. So I think with Halloween, it represents a lot of things. It represents change. It represents, first of all, happy birthday to my cousin Fabian. It's his birthday. It was his birthday, Halloween. It's not Halloween. I'm going to try to drop this episode like real soon for y'all. It ain't going to be one of those episodes that I keep in the can and then I release later. Like, I'm going to want it out ASAP so everybody could see it and celebrate, I guess. What the fuck was in your ear? I just picked out a whole bunch of shit. You better fucking smell that and lick that and tell me what the fuck it tastes like. Pause. That shit was weird. But yeah. So sorry about that. It fucking got me, half-ass ADHD and shit. It stands for fucking always dicking down. Mad Highness. I don't know what the fuck. That's hilarious. ADDMH. Always dicking down Mad Highness. Yeah. So Halloween, man. It's been 4 years sober for me, man. And it's not one of those like where I want to fucking launch fireworks and it's a celebration and martini glasses full of apple cider and all that shit. It's more so like I guess it's just more like it don't hit me as much, I think it's me just living life at this point. I don't really give a fuck. I really don't, like drugs and all that shit. I mean, like I told y'all, I don't know how deep I want to go into the rabbit hole, but basically, I was just tired of using weed and alcohol, and I wanted to stop. So I pretty much prayed to God. It got bad to the point where I just prayed to God, and God made it happen for me. And so that's basically what the fuck happened. During the pandemic, I think in the pandemic, I got like fucking something like $13,000 in EDD money. And I spent all that shit like on weed and fast food. And that's how I ballooned out. Like around 2020, I gained hella weight. I gained hella weight just by eating fast food, drinking, smoking weed, and it was just bad, man. I was eating Wingstop every day, and I feel like I said this on the Halloween special, not last year, but I think 2 years ago. So, I decided to change, and I did mushrooms, and I had a really good trip, and that's what opened my eyes and shit. I think, I can't remember if I was watching Pokemon before or after, but I think, I don't even know how, or why I wanted to do mushrooms, but I did them, and I don't want to do them anymore. Like, I think the next time I do them, I'm going to have to be, like, in a really good space to do them. Like, I don't want to be all fucking what I did before, because what I did was I had one really good trip, and then once I did them, like, 3 times after that, they were really bad trips. So I don't want to do that anymore. The first trip I had, it was really, really good, and it changed me for the better, and then the last 3, I feel like just gave me anxiety. So, but then they say like your chemical makeup and all that shit, it's like you always had it. You're always going to be fucking, what you are in your mind. Cause your mind is like a Rubik's Cube, and you got to like figure out what your mind is going through and like move according to that. So the first time I did mushrooms, I was tripping and it was dope, man. There was like bright colors and I was just mesmerized by the colors, and it's just a feeling you can't describe. Sometimes in my mind, I feel like I'm tripping, but then I remember like when I would eat the shrooms again, I'd be like, oh, I think I'm tripping. But then it hits you like, when you're tripping. Like right now, like even if I get hella anxiety right now at this moment, I know for a fact it ain't shit compared to that trip, because those shits, even good or bad, like when you're fucking tripping, in your mind, and your mind starts fucking going through the all the fucking microcosms in your fucking nucleuses, and all that shit. The first time was dope. I can't really remember what I did. I think I was playing like fucking Assassin's Creed, or I can't remember. What's funny is, and this is hella pause, this is like sexually explicit content, but I remember beating off and it hit me as I fucking blasted off. So I blasted off in not so many ways, and it was so crazy because I remember once I fucking, once I shot, it was like I was busting up laughing, and I'll never forget who the woman I beat off to. I'm sorry, y'all, this is very explicit. I'm sorry. I don't like talking like this at all. This is like fucking halfway's maniac shit to be talking on a podcast like this. But this is the actual real story, right? So it's not like I make this shit up. Like, I've never told this to anyone about my first time. And beautiful girl, and yeah, like I couldn't stop laughing, and then I felt hot and shit. Like I felt like, the flaming hot fireball and shit. I felt like I was on fucking fire and shit. And so I remember I must have took like 2 showers, but it was hot. It was in the summer, I want to say. The first time I did them, I think it was in like June or July. I can't really remember. It must have been the end of July, because right after that I started walking and playing Pokemon Go. So thank you to fucking the Mexican mushrooms that I had. But after that I had stronger ones. Like I had the Florida, like that's why I have on like mushroom pizza off of Sonia, where I say 10 grams of that Tampanesis of the shroom pizza got me, some shit like that, where I was talking about like those other there are different strains that affect your brain differently. So that's why, like, when people get into the like psychedelics and that type of shit, you really got to be careful, because not only is your genetic makeup different, your brain, but also too like the mushrooms. And if I were ever to do it, I'm not saying I won't, it'll be a long time from now, number one, and number two, it would be the Mexican ones, because those were real light, and I had the whole 10 grams. I initially only ate 5, but then I was like, oh, this ain't shit, I'm gonna take the next 5. So I took 10 grams the first time I tripped. And I don't know if it's because I have like a strong like a mental fortitude, or maybe they just were some weak salsa mushrooms. Maybe it could have been a little bit of both. But I wasn't tripping. Like when I hear people like tripping, I hear different things like, oh, they saw hallucinations. I didn't see hallucinations like that. All I just felt was it felt like I had like 100 shots of Henny and like smoked 100 blunts. Like my mind was like fucking like spinning, and my fucking body was on fire, and the colors were bright, and it just, I was inebriated, but like in a good way. Like inebriated has such a negative connotation, but it was more so like I just had a really kick-ass time. And I don't think I drank. If I do, I don't remember. But I remember I had rolled a blunt before, and I was like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fucking roll a blunt, save it for my trip, and then fucking once I'm tripping, I'm gonna go in my car and smoke. And that's what I did. And when I went outside, it was weird because they say you shouldn't do them at night. And I remember they must have hit me like at, I can't remember if it was like 6 or 8 o'clock, some shit like that. But I remember it was already either nighttime or let's say it was nighttime, because I think it was nighttime when it hit me hard as fuck, because I do remember it was a hot summer night. And so if it was 8, yeah, man, I was on some fucking, it was really cool. I liked it a lot. I'm not trying to promote drug use, especially since it's my 4 years have been sober, but I feel like if you're going to use like psychedelics recreationally to try to like figure your life out and shit like that, that's not really like, that don't really count. Just like, yeah, it's kind of like on some different shit. Hold on, NC just called me and shit. Let me call him back. He's going through shit with his girl, so let's see.
Yo,
Yo, you NC, you are now live on the God's Hour podcast. What's going on?
this happens a lot. I'm gonna be a frequent flyer if this keeps happening. What's up?
Everything good or what?
Yeah, I'm about to head over to my girls. I was just like, I was just calling to tell you we good, but like I said, if you like, once you get through all your stuff, if you're able to chat, hit me up. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let me holler at you after the episode.
That's cool, bro. That's cool. Me and Lex and I are good. So, but yeah, hit me up, bro.
You're not gonna go to the crib or what?
No, I am. I'm about to leave right now. I was just letting you know. Everything's wavy, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Speaking of that, Max B gets out excuse me, in a week, and I'll leave you with that.
Hell yeah, bro. Fucking the wave is coming home, man.
Yeah, bro. That's the deal. That's the deal. That's to the knowledge and with NC actually. Max B gets out a week from now.
That's what's up. If anything, just call me. Just call me back, cause you're gonna know when
Sure.
When you're good.
I got you, bro. All right, I'll talk to you. Stay safe. Stay blessed.
All right, then, yo, stay safe, stay blessed.
Peace, bro.
Peace. So I forgot where I was at with the mushroom story, but I was just, like when you don't want to, like, that's not like if you're sober and you do that one time, versus me, I was trying to. Once I felt that good trip, I kept trying to do it. So I already had like an addictive fucking like mindset. So when I did it again, it was like, I remember it was like January. I think it must have been like January or February the following year. And it was really bad. Like it was dark. It was cold. It was a cloudy day. I was by myself. At least the first time when it was dark, I was with like, my sister and my dad and shit. They probably thought I was just high and shit off of weed. But no, man, I was tripping. You know what I mean? I was rolling. So the second time and the third time I did them, I was by myself. I don't want to get into it because every time I think about it, it scares me and it's traumatic. I still feel like it fucking fucks with me to this day, but it's okay, buddy. It's all right. We're just talking about life, but you understand? We're just talking about life here for a second. So, with the bad trips, it was like I was thinking crazy, bro. Like literally I kept thinking like I want to die, which is fucking crazy. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be thinking that. But honestly, what I think it was is all the years of like trauma and like emotions coming out and all the dark thoughts I ever had in my life coming out verbally for me saying that. I wasn't in the best place in my life at that point. I wasn't at a low point per se, but I just wasn't where I'm at now. So, and I've heard even crazier stories. I don't want to talk about the bad trips. I just want to talk about the good times, right? I do not say all of this on the podcast to try to be funny or any of this shit. I'm just trying to tell y'all my story and my reality and what happened, because after I had my one good trip, I started walking. I started playing Pokemon Go. A lot of the ego machismo shit that I have in like my mind and shit, it kind of like those walls kind of faded, and it made me realize like we're living in a reality that we totally what we perceive as our reality is not what it is at all. You know what I mean? And just like, fuck, my bad, I smacked the shit out of you. But just like, it was weird, man. Like I remember, like I just felt like I felt everything. Like I felt why like people. It was just so weird because I connected with the world and like my understanding of the world, it just opened up. I felt like I understood why like my uncle was like pissed off at me. I won't say who he is, and you won't know. I won't give you any details. But one of my uncles, man, like I felt like, not that I let him down, but he wasn't the best role model to me when he should have been. And like I could see, like in that moment, I had a moment of clarity where like, oh, I understand why he would feel this way, regardless of the fact that he should have been like my fucking like the person I look up to. It's just I just fucking had like all these like crazy like wicked thoughts, and they were dope, man. I think I remember taking a shower and I was bumping like Playboy Cardi, and it was dope, man. And I fell asleep. I don't know how I fell asleep, but I do remember like I was like laying in my bed, and I probably didn't sleep for like an hour. I was just laying in my bed with my eyes closed, and it just felt crazy. Like it just felt wild as fuck. And then, I woke up a completely different person for sure. And that had like lasting effects, you know what I mean? Like positive effects. What I should have done was just let that live and sit with that. But I tried to chase that dragon again, and I ended up having bad trips. And then I started getting hella anxiety in 2022, which was 2 years after, a year after my bad trips and shit. I think I had like 2 or 3, and they were the bad trips. The first one I had like maybe something like that, like 2 grams, like nothing crazy, and then it was bad. And then the next 2 times they were like a microdose, and they were bad as well. So maybe I just was in a bad place at that time, and just with the bad, just everything, just bad place, bad timing, bad shrooms, bad everything, right? And I remember, man, how I knew I started getting hella anxiety was, I remember I was talking to somebody, and like I had like an intrusive thought, like, yo, just smack this fool in the fucking face, bro. Like, and I remember like I don't know how expressive I was in my face, but I remember just looking at him, and in the back of my mind, like, yo, why the fuck would I think that? But I kept having those intrusive thoughts, like, yo, smack this fool, like, like kind of violent thoughts and the intrusive thoughts in the back of my head when I would talk to people, to where that shit would scare me, and then I would feel the anxiety. And that anxiety, it comes and goes. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of blurred the lines of like, work anxiety, like, oh, I gotta hurry up and finish work, to fucking like that would cross with like my emotional, like traumatic anxiety that I already have like in my mind and in my soul and shit like that. So my back fucking hurts. Fuck. You want me to put you down? You're kind of fucking heavy, man. All 11 pounds are really going on my legs right now. So yeah, it was just like when I was like, what was I, like 19, I did cocaine for the first time, and it was really dope, man. I loved it, but the problem is you don't ever want to stop doing it. That's why it's hella addictive. And just yesterday, me and Dub we were eating at Chick-fil-A, and I don't know funny fruity shit, but just we were kicking it. I don't really have homies like that. He's probably the only homie I have considered outside of this music shit. So we saw this fool. He was like hunched over walking, like if he was like something was wrong with him. It looked like he had a disability, and he could possibly have, but he was telling me that's that fent fold and shit, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, when they're all doped out and they're just like hunched over, that's definitely like some heroin shit. Like, I don't know if that's just like morphine and all those opioids, and my leg is fucking I'm getting focused on my leg. But I never seen no shit like that. But honestly, it did, like, seeing this fool and shit, and just seeing the way he talked, it did look like he was strung out, and all the drugs, all the abuse took a toll. Like, when people just they like smokers, they just look smoked out, like everything, bro, like their face, their body, just how the way they talk, their voice and all that shit. Like, this fool just looked like he was a level 10 smoker, you know what I mean? So that's where you end up, bro. And drugs don't take you to paradise. Drugs take you to the fucking a couple places, bro. They take you to the ER, they take you to jail, or they take you somewhere where like you're not gonna like it, bro. So I'm just talking about, like, I really like cocaine for a little bit. It didn't really last long. I think it was like on and off for a year. And my cousin, we were on the phone, and he was telling me, yeah, bro, like, you don't remember when these fools had to like tell you to stop and shit? Like, I just kept wanting to go and go. And I'm like, nah, I don't remember that. I remember them not wanting to give me any yay at some point, but I thought that was because they were being stingy. And he was like, no, man, when you were into it, you were into it. Like, you were full on like beast mode with that shit. And it kind of gave validity to what a lot of my family members were talking shit to me about, because I was going through a lot. So whenever I smoked, I didn't want to just smoke one joint. I wanted to smoke the whole quarter. I wanted to smoke the whole quarter. If I drank, I wanted to drink the whole bottle. If I did powder, I wanted to do the whole bag, someone else's bag, and get another bag. You know what I mean? It was really an interesting, tumultuous time in my life where I was figuring out just me and where I stood in my life. You know, how to get the fuck out of my own way. So that was that. And then I drank and I did Yay for the first time together. And drinking, it was something that I never liked drinking beer as a kid. I hated the taste of it. I don't understand why, but I guess I can't remember the first time I got drunk and shit. I don't know. Can't call it, but I pretty much did Yay and drank for the first time together. You know, it's not something to be proud of and shit. So I what it was my dad was hurt and I was taking care of him, and I would sneak off at nights with my homies. And well, that makes it sound like we were fucking rebels or whatever, but really I would go drive to the homies' crib where the other homies were, and we would pick up and we would drink and we would snort, and I would come back later, like maybe like at 10 or 11 at night when I knew my dad was asleep, so he wouldn't see me all fucked up. And I was such an idiot, bro. I would drive high back home, and somehow I never got arrested or pulled over, because, bro, that would have easily been a fucking, you know, super felony, you know, to be all intoxicated, like you know what I mean? By that, I already know that right there would have destroyed my dad. My dad would have been like, you know, because I kept a lot of shit away from my pops. You know, I always felt like that. I always felt like my parents, they couldn't, they never understood where I was coming from, like whether it be like my trauma or like just me as an individual. Like growing up as a child, I just felt like my parents were always working and they didn't know how to take care of me or when to take care of me and my emotional needs, and it fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't give no excuse as to my decisions and choices that I made. I'm just saying where I was coming from at the time. I just felt like I had nobody there for me, and I thought, well, if I just did stupid shit with my friends, you know, it would make me feel better, which it did in the short run, but in the long run, it kind of fucked me over. But that's fine. Like, we all learn from our own mistakes and shit like that. And as a man, when you grow and you're able to admit to these certain type of things, you grow as a person. So I basically stopped when my dad got better. I still tooted maybe like one or two few times after that shit. And then I'm trying to think of I stopped drinking maybe like 2021, like around the time I got sick. I got sick with COVID. My dad gave it to me, and I didn't think that was when we didn't really know shit about it. Like that was when it was 2021. I dodged COVID for the first year, so I was like, cool, you know what I mean? It's evolved to the point where it's like fucking, like, it's not strong anymore. And my pops had it, and I would just literally be sitting there right next to him in the sala, and we would watch movies and shit. And then I got sick, and then it was bad. I thought I was gonna fucking die. So then I had applied to Frito-Lay. They wanted me, like, let's say August the 10th or some shit. And I told them I got COVID. So, like, you know, I won't be able to work. And they're like, that's fine. Just let us know when you're able to work. So I think October 16th was my first day at Frito-Lay. And for whatever reason, I just stopped drinking. I was like, let's see if I could just stop drinking. And I did. And I didn't drink a sip. I was smoking like a motherfucker. You know, that never stopped. You know, through all of my usage and shit, I never stopped smoking weed. And I stopped drinking for a period of time. And then it was like 4 months. And then I bought a bottle of Hennessy VSOP. And I took a lot of that shit straight of the dome, pause, and I fucking ended up blacking out for a second and hitting the back of my head on my TV stand, and my pop was like furious. He was like, "What the fuck? Like, what, did you just black out right now?" And like he noticed it. He noticed like the first 2 times, like where I fell and shit like that, and it was crazy. Well, actually, the first time I blacked out, it was like, I can't remember if it was like the end of 2020 or the beginning of 20. I think it was like somewhere like the spring of 2021, because that was when I was fucking, what was that shit called when you do the assignments, like the agencies, right? And so one day I got fucking hammered off Henny and I blacked out, and I that's why these things that people tell me that I don't remember, that I actually really really don't remember, like any of it, is probably because I was blacked out. But I feel like I only blacked out a couple times. Like I could count on my hand how many times I blacked out. You know, I blacked out when somebody got stabbed in South Central. I blacked out when fucking, you know, at the homie's house. I blacked out those 2 times I was drinking when I fell. And then I blacked out when my parents had to pick me up off the floor. Like they were telling me like I took a piss. And I don't remember this. I just remember waking up. Like, you know when a waterfall, like if you've ever like had your face over like a waterfall or some shit like that, and you see like the water going down your face. That's how I just remember waking up, and I thought I had passed out and took a nap from drinking, and I woke up like that. But my fucking dad was screaming at me, and what had happened was I had got up, took a piss, and I blacked out, and I fell, and I hit my head on the wall, and they went and picked me up, and it was so funny because when they put me on the bed, I don't know how long it was that my dad was fucking screaming at me, but I woke up and I was like, oh man, like don't trip. Like, you know, I have an assignment on Monday. That's why I was drinking. Like in my head, I the good thing was I got work. So I decided to get fucking shit faced, and my dad was like, nah, like you ain't gonna do shit. Like you're gonna stop drinking and all this shit, which is so weird. Like, I don't know what he was thinking in his mind. I guess he thought, you know, obviously his concern was my sobriety, but me, I'd be like, okay, well, you're gonna work, but you ain't gonna be drinking and shit. Cause I do remember going to work and then hitting the woo-wah shit and, you know, whatever. So, going back to when I was fucking doing cocaine for that little bit, I started abusing pills too. I got hurt. I was playing with my niece. I hurt my leg. They prescribed me Vicodin and was it Vicodin? No, muscle relaxers and codeine pills, and I was popping those and drinking, and it was super bad. And then I went and I started popping on my dad's Vicodin from when he got hurt, which he never did. So that's how they knew like I was off the shits, because you know, he had a lot. He had a full fucking, I think he had 2 jars. He had like the see-through one and then the white one. He had like 2 whole things of Vicodin, like a full fucking prescription bottle full of Vicodins, and I popped those all, which is crazy, bro. Like I would never, I still have the Vicodin, but I haven't taken them from when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. And I just, me as a man, I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna just eat the pain and fuck it. Like if I have to take, you know, pain pills, I won't. Like, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? That's just some pussy shit. You know, fucking, I'm a pussy out and pop a Percocet. Like, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? So, I still have them. I don't know what I'm doing with them. I should just flush them. But I think the real power is knowing that I have them and not fucking taking them. I think that's what it is. Like, subconsciously, I know I could fucking just slip back in the darkness. But the real power is not doing it, you know? So yeah, like I remember that Halloween that Drake fucking, he hosted the URL. I don't know if he hosted it, but it was like, I want to say it was either Geechee Gotti versus Loaded Lux at that Halloween event, or it was Geechee Gotti versus Rum Nitty. And I was hitting the weed and I would get hella anxiety, and I stopped drinking because the last couple times I blacked out and my heart was pounding and shit like that. So whatever I was doing it for originally, to escape, it wasn't doing shit for me anymore. It was holding me back more than anything. So I just stopped. Like cold turkey, like not even gradually, like I just stopped. I think I hit the vape pen like maybe once or twice after Halloween, but I don't really remember. So Halloween is not the exact day I stopped. I feel like, but it is the last time that it was like it Halloween represents when it just wasn't working anymore, and that's where it comes from. Like, okay, this is where I celebrated. It's cold turkey. It's done. It's a change in my life. It's Scorpio season. So this is where I take a new start as a man and as a person that just wants to get away with shit. And I put this on my Instagram. Like, I prayed for it. Like, I just, you know, that I don't know if you've seen that movie Train Spotting, where the dude, he's just like losing his mind, and he's like fucking just, he's just losing his mind in his room while he's getting like sober and shit. That's me, and that was me and shit. Like, to where like I just felt like I was going crazy, and I just felt like a slave to my addiction. And it really was an addiction, bro. I was like trying to, you know, cop every day and smoke weed. And if I didn't, like, it got to the point where I was smoking weed to be normal, and I wasn't getting high anymore. You know, the as soon as I was sober, it was like fucking like facing death. And when I was smoking, it was just me feeling normal. And the more I fucking smoked, at the end, it wasn't doing shit, you know. So I don't miss it. I'm around drugs all the time at work, and you know, I fucking mess around, and you know, I fucking fake like if I'm gonna take a hit off of like a joint or whatever that I find. But I'm not ever gonna drink, smoke weed, or like cigarettes, or do any. You know, people like to cheat. Like, shout out to Nems, but he smoked cigarettes for a while, and then now I think he just does the vapes. But not even that shit. I'm not even gonna. I cut everything cold turkey. You know what I mean? To the point where it was like my mom was afraid of me going to like the shows and shit I do, which I have another one I'm throwing with 30 miles coming up, by the way. But my mom was afraid, like, oh, like you're gonna relapse, like be careful out there and shit. But I've gotten offered weed and drink so many times. It's like, and I literally, it's weird because whenever I'm around like the homies and they have that shit, it's like I literally feel like a contact high. But you know, scientifically that shit ain't real, and all that shit is just your mind trying to replicate like fucking what it was that you used to do or some shit like that. And what's crazy is I remember having like those dreams of getting high, which is so crazy. Like, I remember when I got clean, I'd have dreams of smoking weed, and I'm like, oh fuck, there I go, breaking my sobriety, like 6 months or whatever, or tripping. Those were the craziest dreams, where like I would have dreams of me tripping on mushrooms or getting faded off of drink and all that shit. And my dreams are crazy, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've had dreams of killing people and seeing gnarly shit and just wild shit. The dreams I have, like, if I really remember them, they'll be like about girls or like anxiety. So like my anxiety, I have this reoccurring dream. I don't want to say it's like a nightmare. I've had a night terror. That shit was crazy. I've spoken on it before, to where I thought someone was gonna kill me, and I was like, no, like fucking, you know. And I think I remember like sitting up in my bed, and I remember still dreaming, and my mom woke me up, and I was like, what the fuck? That shit was crazy. I only had one night terror in my life, and when I was younger, nightmares were like me, like, you know, running away from like death or some crazy shit like that. Something around those lines, you know, me getting killed or something. And now, like, a nightmare would be just like having an anxiety dream. The first anxiety dream I had when I was in Mexico, I thought I couldn't breathe. So I woke up and I was like, oh shit, I can't breathe. And I ran to the back door, couldn't open it. I had to find the fucking lock somewhere. I couldn't. So I went to the front door and I opened it, and I was taking like deep breaths, like, and I was just like, what the fuck was that? You know? Then, after that, now if I have anxiety dreams, it's like, I'll be in school and I can't find my classroom. So I'll be running around school, going to different classrooms, and I can't find the fucking class I'm supposed to be in, which is crazy. I always hated school, so it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's too late. Like, I lost all my credits. Like, I could have had a chance of going back to school, you know, and getting my associate's degree in commercial music, but it's like I'm not even gonna do with it. It's just a fucking piece of paper. I have no time to go to school now. Like I barely have time to fucking do the podcast and all this shit. Like I know going to school would be depressing right now for me because I would just hate life, so I wouldn't be able to do shit. But it's okay. Like doesn't even matter. So we literally just covered Halloween, so maybe I won't do Dia de los Muertos or the 4-year anniversary. I want to keep it short for y'all. But 4 year anyway, like just to leave it on, it's 4 years sober. I feel great. I feel awesome. Need to lose more weight. It's 4 years of me on the podcast. So I want to thank each and every single listener. If you've made it to the end of this, and I appreciate you. Please leave a like, share, and a fucking all that shit. Subscribe or whatever. You don't have to. I'm just saying it'll help me out because I want to engage with who engages with me. So I want to see who actually messes with the podcast, because like now, like it's weird. It's like hit or miss. Some episodes do really well. Some of them be like in the fucking like 40s and shit, and then some of them I only get like 2 or 3 plays, which is fine. Like I'll take all of that shit. It's my podcast. It's my show. So any and every play is awesome. 4 years of the podcast, man. I had people that I don't rock with anymore, like Gustavo Luis or LV Supernova. It's nothing personal. It's just like I just feel like whatever they got going on isn't in line with me. Same thing with MC Prospect. I don't think I've ever publicly said that on anywhere. Like I don't rock with Prospect anymore. I mean, it should be pretty obvious. I mean, I blocked him on everything, even my phone number. What happened was he was just going through a lot of shit, and he would lash out at me, and I just, I couldn't deal with him anymore, couldn't deal with his shit anymore. He was just really extreme, and he was like really paranoid, and he's like, he thought everybody was out to get him and shit. So I had to just get away from him for my own fucking peace. So, but I hope they're all doing good, especially Prospect, because he's really going through some shit. He just had his baby, so congratulations to him. It's just like, as an artist, I can't just work with anybody. Like, I really got to rock with people that I feel genuine with, and it just, that our friendship turned sour, and therefore we can't make any more music. And so, we've had... First, starting with the people I don't rock with, MC Prospect, LV Supernova, Gustavo Luis, but then the homies, we got like Nalonius, Spark the Law, NC, JBL, Action Figure, Ascend, Advis, Peso from, Canada, Ralph Jordan on Instagram, he go by Peso, fucking, what's his name, Adobe Premiere, Chava Styles. Shout out to the Historian. I hope he's doing good. Fucking Santi Sections, Chicano Syndicate, Despite the Odds. Did I say Action Figure? Ascend. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. But there's a lot of Looney. There's a Blind Owl. Just shout out to all the homies. If I didn't dub, if I didn't remember you, sorry. So 4 years sobriety, 4 years Halloween. It's Halloween. It's the Halloween episode. Get your shit together, get sober. The message of the day is appreciate your growth. And you don't have to take these leaps and bounds. People go to the gym after like 5 years of not going to the gym, and they fucking, they do like an hour of cardio and an hour of weights and an hour of yoga. And it's like, it's not about how extreme. Like it's all about staying consistent. Consistency is key. You don't want to be fucking hurting yourself because you fail to act on the things you want to do. Just do the knowledge, gain the wisdom from it, and understand that it's all baby steps, it's all consistency, and just appreciate the growth and the journey that you're gonna go to be a better person. This is the God's Hour.
Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil lay inside your box now while the angels fly over my headstone.